Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from. My name is Teacher Chi. I'm a wife, a mother, and also a preschool teacher. So, there's some things that has always crossed my mind, and I've been trying and wanting to make this video a very long time, but like I say, I've not had the time, or I've not had the basic platform to make such video. But the more I keep prolonging it, the more I keep forgetting. So that's why I said no, I must make this video today. That's the 2nd of February 2026. I must make this video today. So the topic is why do kids prefer to turn into a goat than speak the truth? Because this has always been on my mind, because I know, back then when we were growing up, once our parents tried to, as in, once they tried to put fear in us, we'll speak the truth without even thinking twice, because we know what African parents can do. But now, this era now, kids, they don't even fear what they want. Even if you want to go extra mile, they are ready. Even if they want to turn into a girl, they are ready. In fact, they prefer taking that lie to their graves than speaking it out. And this thing keeps disturbing me, and I'm always worried, because in fact I'm always worried. So that is why I had to go and browse, because we are training ourselves. Because so let's ask what a lie is. That says, in a simple term, a lie is intentionally saying something you know isn't true. When you intentionally say something you know isn't true. So why do kids lie? Why do they tell lies? Children usually lie because their brains are growing, not because they are bad. So they listed three main reasons. Like I said, we are all learning, because there's no perfect parent, so we are all learning. So they listed three main reasons, and which I see are very reasonable. It says one, brain development. That's the stages of how kids tell their lies. So it says brain development. So around age 4, children, they realize for the first time that you can't read their minds. So lying is a way to test their new discovery. So when the children realize that you can't read their brain, you can't read their mind, so they try to test you to know if it's gonna work or not. So that's their first discovery from age 4. So the next one is fear of trouble. That's now the line stage now is now growing. So from that age 4, they realize that you can't read their brain. They now start growing it. So they now understand that they can lie to escape from troubles. So now it says fear of trouble. Most lies are a basic survival instinct. If they think the truth leads to punishment, they use a lie to protect themselves. Can you see? So once they've gotten to that first stage and they say that okay, yes, you can't read their mind, now they proceed into the next stage. That is, they start lying to escape from getting into trouble, because they know that once they lie, in fact, automatically they're in trouble. So they try to lie to protect themselves from getting into trouble. You can see. So the next one says creative blurring. Now the young kids often confuse what I want with what happened. They always confuse. So if they wish they hadn't spilled the milk, they might tell themselves that they didn't do it. So that is how now they begin to lie, because when something happens in front of them, like maybe they spill the milk now, so they try to tell themselves that yes, they didn't do it. So no matter how you try to force them to speak the truth, their mindset is already set that yes, they didn't do it. So no matter what you try to do for them to speak, they are not going to speak, because they've already trained the mind to lie. So now This is saying the mental workout. How it starts. Lying is actually a complex skill. To lie, a child has to stop themselves from saying the truth, because they are the owners of their mind, so they control their brain. So now they've told their mind to stop speaking the truth no matter what. So they've trained the mind and the brain to stop speaking the truth no matter what. Even when they are saying the truth, they will stand on their line. So they've told themselves to stop saying the truth. And again, they invent new stories. They always invent new stories. So when something happens, in fact, before you ask, they've already invented that story in their mind. So once you ask, they know what to say. So they always invent new stories, and they always remember the story so they don't get caught. That's when you should know a child who tells lies. They always invent a new stories, and they don't forget the stories. They always remember it so that they don't get caught, because once they are caught, in fact, once they are caught, they might try to create another story, but once as a mature parent, you already know that, oh, this child is saying, it's what this child is saying, it's a lie. So they try to remember it. Even when you wake them up from the sleep, they always remember it. So now this is now how to fix it now, as we parents now, how to fix the problem now. It says, number one says, don't ask. That's the first stage. Don't ask. Don't ask them, did you do this? What happened? Don't ask them, because when you ask them, it triggers a defensive lie. When you ask them, when something happens immediately and you ask them, it triggers a defensive lie. So what Google is saying now, you said you should say, I see this happen, we can fix it together. So that should be our response. That I see this happen, we can fix it together. So it makes their mind calm. Like, it makes their mind calm, and they will be like, oh, it doesn't mean mom is not going to beat me. So that's how they start saying the truth. So once you see them do something wrong, don't ask them immediately, who did this? How did it happen? So once it happens, just tell them that I see it, we can fix it together. So, and the second one is reward honesty. Reward honesty. When a child says the truth, always reward them, and always tell them, always give them good reasons to always say the truth. Always reward them. Always say, I'm glad you told me the truth. This makes them trust you more, and it also makes you trust them more. So always reward them. When a child tells you the truth, you reward them. Then the last one says, stay calm. Stay calm. If you get angry, they will lie next time to avoid the explosion. So when you see a child lies to you, you don't start shouting. This African parent training type. You don't start shouting. You don't. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why did you understand? So you stay calm. Oh, what happened? And when the child tries to tell you that, okay, mom, see what happened, I did something, stay calm and always give the child a good response than you always shouting and getting angry, because when you do that, it makes them more scared, and they will be so scared to tell you the truth, even when they are fighting it within them, that they want to tell you the truth, but because they are scared of your next action, so that is why they try to keep it in between them, that, oh, it's better I be a goat than me saying the truth. And it's not good. It's not good for them. Okay, so to wrap it up, the last one says, treat a lie as a signal that your child is afraid. You say, so treat that lie as a signal that your child is afraid, because they want to say the truth, but they are afraid of the punishment or the consequences they'll face. So that's why they're always scared to say the truth. A child lying doesn't mean they are bad. It's because of they are afraid of what you might do to them. So now they're saying, treat a lie as a signal that your child is afraid or trying to solve a problem. When you lower the fear factor and focus on fixing the mistakes together. So you should try to fix the mistake together as both parents do that, and we'll also with the child. So both parents should try and fix the lie together. So everything is not about spanking a child or shouting or yelling. No, there are sometimes the child needs you to talk to them, because most times they find that they are finding it difficult. They are fighting. It's just like fighting two demons, fighting two, let's say, let me just say, like two enemies. They're fighting the truth and they're fighting the lie, but the main enemy there is the lie. But the kids are seeing the truth as the main enemy. So we as parents need to tell them that no, saying the truth has great reward. When you speak the truth, it gives you more pride, as in it gives you more confidence that, oh, if your child, you tell them that if you say the truth, it gives me more confidence that when anything happens outside, I'll be so confident to defend my child because I know my child can do that. But when the child keeps lying, in fact, the parent, it brings down the parents' morale. It brings down the parents' confidence, because you can't defend your child when you know your child is a bloody liar. Like there's some children that as if they even turn bloody in lying, because no matter how you try for them to speak the truth, no, it's not gonna work. They will lie to the extent that you yourself will see yourself as a liar. But in this situation, you have to stay calm. You have to stay calm. You have to speak to them, always talk to them, and most importantly, always pray for them, because many of them are always demonic. So most times you always pray for them. You pray for them, you advise them, and during the study time, you show them saints, or you show them people that always say the truth and how they get rewarded for it. So you keep telling them stories of truth. Always show them movies, stories of people who say the truth and how they get rewarded for. So that's all for today, and may God help us to train our children, because the Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should grow, and when he is old, he won't depart from it. Because I know that children grow in different environments, and most of the time there's always peer pressure. And when they get home, we should not we should not push them away or push them outside, because if they find the truth outside, it will be so hard for us to bring them in. So we as parents, we should work on ourselves also. That's why I brought this, because we are teaching ourselves. No one is perfect. We are teaching ourselves, because as I was going through it, and I learned a lot from you, because I'm also this parent that I don't stay calm when my children tell a lie. I don't stay calm. I'm not going to lie. But with this now, it's going to help me improve. It's going to help me improve, and I will adjust. And I'll always try to hear from them before I do anything. So the main reason here is not all about shouting or yelling, because the more you shout, the more they keep lying, and you can't take it out from them. You can't, because it's already in their mind, and you can't say, okay, because in their mind, let me divide their head into two. It's not possible. So may God help us and give us the grace to train our children in the way of the Lord. Amen. Peace out. Thank you.